Hey everybody, welcome back to Marvel Monday. So this is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 1, New World Order commentary. Feel free to follow along on Disney Plus, listen to this as a podcast. Thought this would be a fun little commentary into the new film, Brave New World. If you're following along, please get your timestamp to 0 and press play now. Should be on the Marvel logo right now. So my first thought with this is looking at this as a whole. um, I think Falcon Winter Soldier is the story Marvel Studios needed to tell in order to get Sam into a certain position. I think Brave New World Order is the story that they want to tell with Sam. And they need to get this out of the way first. I think it worked for the most part. I think Sam was always going to be a top sell, especially for the muggles out there that don't watch these shows. I was never really expecting the Falcon to show up at all in the Marvel Universe movies. So when Sam showed up in Winter Soldier, I'm like, wait, Falcon? Captain America and the Falcon? So, oh my God, first I'm like, oh no, not the Falcon. But then made him cool. Made him cool. He's a sidekick in the comics, much like Bucky Barnes was. And I love how they open the show with a callback to the events of Endgame when Steve Rogers gave him the shield. Because I like seeing the conflict in him. And he doesn't just take the shield and just become Captain America. Because if I was him, I wouldn't take the shield either. That's truth. So like I said, they needed to tell this particular story. But I think Brave New World is the story that they want to tell with Sam. Subtle. Subtle. Got it. I love this intro. Those that don't know, this kid Torres is also Falcon in the comics when Sam is Captain America. I was a little concerned about how they're going to do this on TV. There's like some of the camera shots a little choppy. I think that's the advantage they're going to have on the big screen. This kind of product definitely look better than it does on TV. And then here comes Backdrop the Leaper. I wasn't expecting to see, and he's actually wearing purple this time. I think it's kind of cool that he fought Roger as Captain America and he fought Sam as Falcon and Captain America. That's the thing you just see a lot with legacy characters, like Miles Morales, for instance. Kid doesn't have his own villains, so he's always got to fight someone that appears for like a gazillion times. So that makes sense. I think it would have been cool if Batroc had survived this show, so we could see him in Brave New World. Although he calls it the new, how much can I get for your new bird costume? If you forget, Sam was a soldier. So that alone already puts him in the running to be a new Captain America. And the reason that Bucky can never be Captain America is because he was a freaking terrorist for 70 years, murdering people like the Starks. Can't do that and then take up the freaking symbol of America and have it work. So people just need to get over that shit. It's never going to happen. I also think it's kind of interesting. I think it's going to be interesting with Ravening World. See more of a vulnerable Captain America without the serum. It could be interesting. I just don't think it's a good idea to have a Red Hulk in the film. See how that goes. They've been releasing a lot of clips online to make me more nervous about the film. But that was cool. This is some cool shit right here in this episode. This and the season finale was my favorite episode of the show. And the one where John gets the serum. And he kicks the shit out of all those flag smasher guys. So yeah, I think I understand why Sam didn't want the serum. It's not the one, it's not the original serum that was kind of made in the 40s. And you can see what happened with John. Clearly didn't work. I mean, it looks pretty good for TV. But I got so excited when I saw it. I'm like, oh shit, look at this. Falcon's being the freaking badass finally. It's like, oh, he's been really jokey over the years in the MCU. Like, that's just Sam as a character. That doesn't mean that has to change just because he has a shield now. It's just him. That's just who he is. It's his character. He's always been more of a tech-based character, so we're probably going to see more of that going forward in the MCU. I've been hearing rumors that he's going to lead the Avengers. I'm like, what Avengers team is that exactly? Stark is gone. Cap is gone. The original Cap is gone. No idea what's going on with Thor. Spider-Man is basically being loaned to Marvel from Sony. No idea what that deal entails going forward. Tom Holland's like, I don't want to be an actor anymore. Go away, Trump. Who cares? No, easy would be to replace him. You know how many people would be killed to be in that role? You know how bad I would love to be freaking Spider-Man in the MCU. Never hear me complaining at all. Ever. Now, at the end of this sequence, I thought Backtrack was actually gone. He just disappears off the map. But it shows up later in the series. Now, I'm kind of hoping that Brave New World starts like this with a badass action sequence. But I don't know if I really buy in. Sam is going to be a tough sell for me, man. It really is. Not that I don't like the character. I like Sam Wilson as a character. Just like the MCU is just treading water, barely treading above water at this point in time. You get that shitty Fantastic Four trailer with Ricky Ricardo Richards, who's probably going to be shit. So I got no interest in that one. Yeah, so he just disappeared off the bat. So I thought he was gone. Man, I think it's cool when we get to this point. Like the rest of the episode is a little bit, I don't want to say slow per se, but it does take a little bit of time to build things up, which I appreciate. I don't think Marvel does that too much as much anymore. It's like it's the building blocks that made the MCU successful in the first place. Unfortunately, there's been no build up whatsoever to a new Avengers team. I wasn't crazy about the flag smasher thing. I thought that was a little out there. Sam's gone up against some pretty big threats. You fought Thanos? Like, no, we didn't. You got dusted off. Everybody got their ass beat by Thanos. But I kind of think it makes more sense for Sam to be Cap in the modern world. It's like Rogers was always out of time and all that stuff. So I always felt like he didn't fit in. But Sam already knows this world. And he's had his struggles, besides the obvious struggles, which again, they don't really go in too much in depth with the old Black Captain America thing in the show. But the way Thunderbolt Ross is talking to him in the trailers for Brave New World, I'm like, so how many times we're gonna bring up his skin color in this series? You might be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. Like what he's implying is that you don't have bald hair and blue eyes, so you can't be Captain America. So let's listen to some people online, what they be saying. Exactly what they're saying. That's why when Stan gave the shield up, they didn't pick a black dude to get the shield to be new Captain America when they announced him. They picked a dude with blonde hair and blue eyes. That's what people expect when they think Captain America. Or I guess in Buggy's case, dark hair. Now they got Rhodey in this show, but he does absolutely nothing. I think it was the right move for Sam at this point to give the shield back where it belongs. Because, like, I don't know. He makes a good argument for why we really don't need Captain America in the modern world. And then give the shield to John Walker, and that becomes the whole thing. I'm a little shocked that Rhodey didn't have another appearance in the show. Now, from what I'm hearing, not to get off track, but from what I'm hearing, Armor Wars has been canceled. It was a TV show, then it was going to be a film. And apparently, it's been canceled, but I'll say that for another Marvel Monday discussion. It's like honest truth. I kind of agree with Sam giving the shield back. I wouldn't want it either. Like absolutely not. Remember when I first saw it, I'm like, yeah, it was the only decision to make. Now, given the fact of secret invasion or whatever it was called, I wonder if Rhodey is a scroll at this point. Some people were making jokes like, oh, Rhodey's been replaced ever since he was recast, which is pretty funny. I like this conversation between Sam and Rhodey. Why didn't you take up the mantle? Like when Steve Rogers was on ice, nobody was Captain America for 70 years. He made it down to like Captain America is Steve Rogers, not me. You know what I'm saying? So he acknowledges the fact that he is not Cap. He was even shocked when Rogers offered him the shield at the end of Endgame. And people forget that. He looked at Bucky and like, dude, why is he giving this to me and not you? But see, this is the type of stuff you can really get into in a TV show, which is why I always prefer this type of stuff on television. You see the conflict in his eyes. Like, yeah, he wants to do right by Steve Rogers, but he's afraid that he's not going to live up to the idea of Captain America. I think he starts to believe in himself more as the series progresses, especially when John gets the shield in the next episode. Now, this kind of confused me at first. I'm like, oh shit, he's back. So I realized it was a flashback. It's like, he's a freaking terrorist for 70 years. There ain't no way there would people accept him as Captain America. You crazy? It's the event of Civil War, everybody freaking knows who he is now and what he did. Don't get me wrong. They've been setting Bucky up as Cap since First Avenger. So it was a little bit, I was disappointed as well as anybody else, but you can't be a freaking brainwashed terrorist for 70 years and then pick up the Captain America shield, pretend like nothing happened. Bucky Barnes in the third. Bucky Barnes in therapy was an interesting decision, I think, by the creators of the show. But he's been pardoned. Doesn't matter. Still did all that stuff. Still murdered hundreds of people. Can't turn around and just say, I'm going to be Captain America now. Never work. So when it comes to Bucky, I always felt like the writers didn't really know what to do with him per se. It's almost like they made him strong when they wanted him to be strong. And then the parts where he got his ass beat because it just, I don't know how strong he actually is. The comic doesn't have a super powered arm, just a metal arm. Because like it's a process with everything he's been through, brainwashing in particular. Like you don't just turn around and take up a Captain America shield. So I don't think that was ever going to work. So he's like picking up the pieces, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Which I thought was interesting, an interesting direction to take the character. Rather, that's the exact reason why Sam is Cap and Bucky is not. Like I said, I think one of the reasons why Sam makes sense as Cap in the modern world is because he actually understands the modern world. Rogers did not. He's always trying to fit in, and he never really did. That's why he went back in time. That's where he belongs. He went back in time because that's where he belongs. And he gave Sam the shield because Sam understands the present day world. That is why Sam is Cap and why Bucky is not. Bucky is also from the 40s. It wouldn't make any sense. It would be the same exact thing. Man out of time. Said Bucky is a freaking terrorist for 70 years. Same with John. John understands the world. You notice how John carries a gun. And like one, Sam had guns when he was Falcon. I don't know why he doesn't have guns when he's a Cap. So like going back to this show, I think I found myself more and more liking the idea of Sam as Captain America. And it was because of the new film, but because I kind of agree with the decision to make him Captain America. Like I said, he makes sense as Captain in the modern world. Bucky does not. Bucky and Steve Rogers were both from a different time. Bucky was a terrorist for 70 years. Rogers was a man out of time, which is why he went back in time. That's where he belongs, in the 40s. He's never meant to be in the present day. I mean, people just seem to forget that type of stuff when they're too busy hating on the character because they go in a direction that they don't like or whatever. But it kind of does make sense for him to be Cap. It really does. Now, whether the new film is good or not, that's another matter entirely. I still ain't putting the Red Hulk in the movie. It's stupid. But I would rather see another branch of Hydra or something. Classic Captain America stuff. Smaller story, you know. Sam does not need to be fighting the freaking Red Hulk in his first movie. Or any massive monster. Like, I'll get more into that in my Brave New World review, so I'll keep your eyes open for that. And so, conversation Bucky was having with his pal at the bar. We played the Winter Soldier theme briefly, and we realized that he actually murdered this guy's kid. So it's another reason why he can never be Cap, because there's so much baggage he's carrying with him. That, like, you can't do that and become a symbol of a freaking country. Like the symbol of the country. It will never work. So I like this. I like this seeing these scenes with Sam going to Louisiana, seeing a bit of his daily life, just getting to know him more as a character. Because It's the type of thing that we just don't really get to see in the movies. But we got to know Steve Rogers in '40s, understand what makes him tick and all that stuff. Never got that with Sam in the movies. Just that he's a soldier and he idolizes Captain America. It's interesting to see this type of stuff, like daily life type of things. I doubt they would be able to do this in the new film, so I'm glad they put it here. It makes him more diverse, not diverse, but like versatile as a character. And again, the struggle that he goes through with whether or not to take up a shield. You see it really bubble to the surface when he sees John with the shield at the end of the episode. And that's when he realizes, like, yeah, maybe I should step up to the plate. And like right now, we just see Sam trying to save his family's legacy, which is kind of cool. Then Bucky goes on this date, if you want to call it that, at this bar with this chick. You keep forgetting that Bucky had the serum as well. It was used for a different means. Makes me water flowers. He's definitely from the freaking 40s. Jeez. I have never bought a stick of flowers in my entire life. Never. And it takes a minute for this series to get going. I think they jump around between Bucky and Sam, which is kind of cool. I was not entirely sure they knew what to do with Bucky as a character in the show. I heard he's going to be in the Thunderbolts film. That's probably going to be a swing and a miss, I think. Because looking at the cast and the cast of characters that you have lined up for that one. Yeah, she's like kind of fine. It's like PTSD. Soldiers usually have that type of stuff, but they survive a war. They remember everything. People they killed, the soldiers they lost, friends they lost. I mean, the show is telling us exactly why it can never be capped. Carry all that baggage from the damn past 70 freaking years. Can't pick up the shield and say I'm Captain America now. But again, I like seeing Sam's daily life. I think these are his nephews. I mean, there is something empowering about Sam with the shield, especially in like the penultimate episode when he shows his nephews the shield. And here we go with the we're in Switzerland now with the flag smashers about to be introduced. Torres is undercover. I don't remember when we get introduced to that freckled chick. I think she's in the second episode. That little girl kicked your ass. Isn't that her right there? She might be the one handing out the masks. Torres stepping in trying to stop this guy was stupid. Like Sam says later on, like, look, you look, that's all you got. It's clear that this is not the original serum that they have. Jeez. Jeez. He should be knocked out. This part is funny. I was always a little confused with the you don't have income for the past 5 years. Since he's been working with the government for like 6 months or something, he said. So they didn't pay him. Like this bank situation doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I like this seeing Sam's daily life type of thing. It's kind of refreshing. This is why I love TV shows. You can really dive into the characters' heads and their what makes them tick, which you really don't get in movies these days. Everybody's trying to do these end of the world stories. And according to his sister, he didn't want to deal with what was going on over here in Louisiana, which is apparently probably why he left to go to the Americas. And here's the final shot of the episode, final scene. He thinks the guy that knocked him out was the leader. Pretty sure we saw a glimpse of the chick with the red hair, the freckled chick. She appears in a lot of Lucasfilm projects for some reason. So you look on Sam's face. You can tell he regrets giving up the shield now. So with my boy John Walker. I couldn't believe they actually put U.S. agent in the show. I'm like, is that U.S. agent? I couldn't believe it, but you was in that show. So that's the first episode. A lot better than I remember, actually. So stay tuned for more episodes, more commentaries, more premieres, more live streams from Marvel Mondays. And stay tuned for my Brave New World review on the 14th or 15th. I believe I'm going Saturday. So stay tuned to the channel for that.